The second question, why must everybody who wants to do meditation or hear the lecture pay for this? Why not? The rabbi climaxed his sermon with life is like a glass of tea. Later one of the congregants asked, Rabbi, why is life like a glass of tea? Why not? Answered the rabbi. I also say to you, why not? You pay for everything in life. Why not for your meditation? You pay for everything in your life. Why not for God? Why you want God free? In fact, you don't want. Whatsoever you want, you are ready to pay. You know that you have to pay. Meditation you don't want if it is given free and even with a prasad. Then you will think about it. You are ready to go to the movie and pay for it. Why not you should pay for your meditation and the lecture if you want to hear it? The question comes naturally from an Indian and a non-sannyasin who does not understand me at all, who must be a newcomer. The Indians think they are very religious people in the world. All bullshit. They are the most irreligious people in the world. Just they have an egoistic idea that they are very religious. If you are really religious, you will be ready to pay for your meditation with everything, even with your life. What is money? If you pay 5 rupees for something, and if you earn 10 rupees a day, then you have paid with half the day. Money is just a symbol that you have devoted your half day's labor for it. You go to the movie and you pay 10 rupees for a ticket. You earn 10 rupees per day. You are saying that this movie is worth 1 day's labor. I can stake for it. But you are not ready to stake anything for your meditation, prayer, for religion. In fact, religion is the last thing on your list. You want it free. Basically, you don't want it. If there is a price to it, you start feeling uneasy. You ask why you have to pay here. The price that is asked is nothing. It is just a beginning to learn a certain lesson that one has to pay for everything. And certainly for prayer, certainly for meditation, because it is the highest thing in life. Those few rupees that you have to pay are very symbolic, just token. They indicate something. If you are ready to pay something, then I know you will be persuaded to pay more. By and by, one day you will be able to stake your whole life for it. If you are not ready to even pay 5 rupees, it is impossible for you to stake your whole life. Gurdjieff used to ask much money for his lectures, and not only money. He will create all sorts of obstacles. For example, no lecture will be declared beforehand. If the lecture is going this morning, 8 o'clock, early in the wee hours, at 5 o'clock, you will receive a phone that 8 o'clock reach certain place. And the place must be 20 miles or 30 miles or 50 miles away. And Gurdjieff is going to talk. And you have paid for it. People used to ask, why you create trouble? Why can't you say beforehand? So we can manage. And Gurdjieff will say, if you can manage, then it is not worth. If you can come suddenly, dropping all that you were going to do. Maybe you were going to see the Prime Minister at 8 o'clock, and suddenly now there is an alternative. Either you go to Gurdjieff or to the Prime Minister, and you go to Gurdjieff, then there is going to happen something. You have staked for it. You took trouble, and then too it was not certain that Gurdjieff will speak. He may come and he will look around and he will say, not now, no, not today. I will inform you later on. Once it happened in Paris, for 8 days he called people and 8 days he cancelled. First day there were near about 400 people. The last day near about 5-6 people. When he looked at, he said, now only the right ones are left. The crowd is gone. Now I can say whatsoever I want to say to you. I am not also interested in the mob, in the crowds. I am not interested in casual visitors. I am interested only in few sincere seekers. They have to sow their metal. And the money that you have to pay is just the beginning. It is just the alpha. By and by I will persuade you to pay with your life. Unless you have that much courage, nothing is going to happen. Religion is not cheap. Certainly not free. But the Indian mind is very money-minded. They talk about being religious, but they are very money-minded people. Their whole outlook about things is money. No Western has ever asked. They understand. The ashram has to be maintained. The place has to be ready for you. Some musician has to prepare for the music. Somebody has to conduct the meditation. The gardens have to be looked after. The buildings have to be built. All needs money. From where it is going to come? And you know well, I don't do any miracles. There are only two ways. One is somebody else should donate for you, but why somebody else should donate for you? You will meditate and somebody else will donate for you. Why? If you want to meditate, you pay for it. And if you really want to meditate, you will be ready to pay for it. There should be no hitch about it. If you don't have money, go and earn. If it is absolutely impossible, then come and work in the ashram and pay that way, work-wise. But don't ask free. This idea of getting religion free has entered so deep in the mind that people think they have a claim. People come to the office and they say, why we are not allowed? But why you should be allowed? You have to earn it to be allowed. Just because you want to come in does not mean much. You have to show that you are sincere. You have to show that you are not just out of curiosity here. What is the way to check a person? The easiest way is money, because the greatest greed is for money. The greatest greed is for money. So whenever you have to lose your money, you have to lose a little part of your greed. When you pay 5 rupees for entry, you are paying by dropping a little greed. The money is not the problem. The problem is greed. You are dropping a little greed. And this is just a beginning. Because meditation can happen only when all greed disappears. A slight greed inside you, and meditation is not possible. For a greedy mind, there is no meditation. Meditation happens only in a non-greedy mind. If you don't have money, then work and pay by your work and show your sincerity. But the person who has asked must have money. Otherwise he would not have been allowed to enter here. He must have paid. Must be greedy. Must want to have everything free, at least about God. Because nobody bothers about God. I have been moving for years in the masses. I have not decided in a hurried way to drop out of the mob. I saw that it was absolutely absurd. You go on talking to people who are not ready to listen. You go on talking to people who are not seekers, who are not in any search. You go on talking to people who have come just for entertainment. Why should I waste my energy and time? I tried in every way to be available to bigger crowds, but then I found it is impossible. They come there as an entertainment, and they hear from one ear, and from another it is lost. There is a story about Bayezid, a Sufi mystic. He was passing from a cemetery, and he came upon a heap of skulls. Out of curiosity, he took one skull. He has always been of the thought that all skulls are almost the same, but they were not the same. There were few skulls whose ears were joined together. There was a passage. There were few skulls whose ears were not joined together. There was a barrier between the two. There were few skulls whose both the ears were joined to the heart but not joined with together. There was a passage running to the heart. He was very much surprised. He prayed and asked God, what is the matter? What you are trying to reveal to me? And it is said he heard the voice. God said there are 3 types of people. One who hear from one ear. It never reaches anywhere. In fact, they don't hear. Just the sound vibrates and disappears. There are another type who hear, but only momentarily. They hear from one ear and from another ear. It is lost into the world again. There are few souls, of course, who hear from the ears and it reaches to the heart. And God said, Bayezid, I have brought you to this heap of skulls just to remember it when you are talking to people. Talk only to those who take whatsoever you say to their heart. Otherwise, don't waste your energy and don't waste your time. Your life is precious. You have a message to deliver. One day I also understood, not by going to a cemetery and coming across a heap, but looking into alive people. There are three types. Bayezid is right. The story may be true or not, that is irrelevant. I looked in thousands of people and I found only very few are there who will take the seed to the heart, who will become soil to it, who will absorb it. And others are just curiosity mongers, just entertaining themselves. Maybe the entertainment is religious, but it is meaningless. So here I don't exist for the masses. Let it be known once forever. I am not interested in the crowds. I am interested only in individuals. And you have to sow your mettle. And this is just the beginning of the ashram. Once the ashram is established rightly, there will be more and more difficulties for new people to enter.